The film opens with Vasili Zaitsev as a boy, growing up in the freezing Russian wilderness with his grandfather, a seasoned hunter who teaches him the patience and precision of a sniper rifle. To draw wolves in, his grandfather ties up a horse as bait. When the wolves finally appear, they line up the shot, but Vasili freezes. Fear and doubt take over, and he cannot pull the trigger. The hesitation costs them, and the wolves tear into the horse.
I am a stone.
Now, Vasili! Fire! Fire, Vasili! Fire!
Forgive me.
Then the story jumps to 1942, right in the middle of World War II. Vasili is older now, serving in the Soviet Red Army. He is one of the soldiers sent to face Nazi Germany, packed onto a train headed toward the front, while civilians, women and children are evacuated in the opposite direction. At this point in the war, Hitler's forces have taken much of Europe and seized critical oil resources. Their next major target is the Soviet Union, and Stalingrad becomes the key. The Germans are determined to take the city and crush Soviet resistance completely. When the Soviet troops arrive near Stalingrad, their commanders deliver a brutal order: there will be no retreat. Anyone who runs will be shot by their own side. The message is clear: the only way out is through the German lines. Soon the soldiers are loaded onto small boats and sent across the river toward the front, where the fighting is already raging. As the boats move forward, the river is littered with the bodies of fallen comrades. Then German aircraft sweep in, dropping bombs and raking the water with gunfire. Boats sink, men vanish beneath the surface, and countless soldiers die before they ever touch the far shore. By sheer luck, Vasili survives the crossing and reaches land, along with a handful of others who make it through the chaos. This is where Vasili enters the fight. Welcome to Enemy at the Gates. On the other side, Soviet officers begin handing out weapons, but supplies are dangerously low. The solution is desperate: one rifle for every 2 men. One soldier carries the gun, the other carries only ammunition. They are ordered to kill Germans and take enemy weapons so the rest can be armed. Vasili draws the worst assignment. He is given bullets, while his partner gets the rifle. If Vasili wants a weapon of his own, he will have to take it from the enemy. They are pushed straight into battle under the same harsh warning: do not fall back.
Will be shot!
I need a rifle.
It is either victory!
Sauber draufhalten!
When the attack begins, the Soviets charge into a German force already set up with artillery and heavy firepower. The fight turns into a slaughter. In the confusion, Vasili's partner is killed. Vasili reaches for the fallen rifle, but another soldier shoves him aside and grabs it first. Seeing how completely the Germans control the battlefield, some Soviet troops panic and try to retreat. They do not make it far. On the way back, Soviet officers open fire on their own men for disobeying orders. When the fighting settles, the Germans take control of the area.
Join your German comrades. They understand you.
And right then, a car suddenly races into the zone at full speed. German troops shoot it up until it flips over. Somehow the driver survives. His name is Danilov, and he crawls out fast, escaping just before the Germans can close in. Danilov immediately drops to the ground among the bodies of fallen Russian soldiers, pretending to be dead. When German troops arrive, they fire into the pile of corpses to make sure no one is still alive. Once again, Danilov survives by pure luck, as none of the bullets hit him. Not long after, he crawls out from his hiding place and spots a German officer nearby, calmly cleaning himself. Danilov grabs a rifle lying close to him and prepares to take the shot. At that moment, he realizes another Russian soldier is still alive. That soldier turns out to be Vasili. Vasili quickly stops Danilov from firing, knowing the sound of a shot would draw more German soldiers to their position. Instead, Vasili carefully waits for the right moment, timing the shot with the sound of an explosion so it will go unnoticed. When Danilov finally tries to fire, the rifle clicks empty. Vasili takes the weapon, loads it with the bullets he has been carrying since the battle began, and hands it back. Even then, Danilov hesitates, still afraid that firing will bring the Germans rushing back. Danilov hands the rifle to Vasili and asks him to do it instead. Vasili takes the weapon and immediately notices a vehicle approaching. He stays calm, lines up the German officer in his sights, and waits. When a missile explosion echoes across the battlefield, Vasili fires. The officer drops instantly and no one hears the shot. Vasili waits again, times another explosion, and eliminates a second soldier. One of the remaining Germans spots Vasili's position. Wounded, the soldier tries to throw a grenade toward them, but Vasili reacts faster, shooting him before the grenade leaves his hand. Only one German remains. He attempts to flee and warn the others, but Vasili tracks him steadily and brings him down with a clean shot. Watching all of this unfold, Danilov is stunned by Vasili's calm focus, precision, and survival instincts. He immediately recognizes the extraordinary potential of the young soldier. The two of them make their way back to the Red Army headquarters. There, Danilov writes an article for the military newspaper, praising Vasili by name and detailing his deadly skill as a sniper, who wiped out German troops with ruthless efficiency. At the same time, a high-ranking officer named Khrushchev arrives as a representative of the Soviet leadership. He is furious with one of the commanders over the disastrous deployment that led to a massacre of Russian soldiers. Khrushchev warns that if the leadership learns the truth, everyone involved will be executed. He coldly suggests that the commander take his own life with a weapon before facing a far more brutal punishment. Moments after Khrushchev leaves the room, a gunshot rings out, confirming that the commander has done exactly that. Khrushchev then demands ideas from his officers on how to raise morale before Stalingrad completely falls. Danilov, serving as the political commissar in charge of propaganda and the Red Army newspaper, proposes a bold solution. He suggests turning brave soldiers into symbols, promoting their actions through propaganda to inspire others to keep fighting. Khrushchev likes the idea and decides to put it into action. Danilov returns to the military printing office and publishes an article about Vasili, highlighting his extraordinary precision and skill in killing German soldiers. Not long after that, Danilov meets Vasili and informs him that he has been appointed head of the propaganda committee, while Vasili is officially named the division's sniper. Both of them are thrilled by their new roles.
It's great.
It's great! It's great! They're new.
Sorry, sir.
I'm sorry.
Soon, Vasili's story spreads across newspapers, and the media begins praising his bravery, including claims that he has killed 33 German soldiers and forced 13 German commanders to withdraw. During one mission, Vasili lines up a German commander and prepares to take the shot. Suddenly, a young boy named Sasha appears and breaks his concentration, delaying the shot.
The great Vasili Zaitsev.
Sasha, who deeply admires Vasili's heroic reputation, takes him back to his home. There, Sasha's mother welcomes Vasili with great respect and expresses her admiration for his courage. In that moment, a knock is heard at the door. Sasha's mother quickly turns off the lights as Vasili hides. The visitor turns out to be Danilov, who already knows Vasili is there. He explains that miners have sent letters to the front and asks Vasili to write replies. While Vasili is working on the letters, a beautiful woman named Tanya enters the room. Tanya is responsible for protecting civilians from German troops. She is also Sasha's neighbor and is fluent in German after studying the language. When Danilov sees Tanya for the first time, he is immediately drawn to her. However, Tanya is far more impressed by Vasili and the story of his bravery. The story then shifts to the German military command, where they summon their most skilled sniper, an elite officer named Major Koenig. Upon arriving at headquarters, Koenig is briefed about a Russian sniper who has been killing large numbers of German soldiers. Koenig is ordered to track him down and eliminate him as quickly as possible. Soon, reports spread that a German sniper has killed 5 Russian soldiers with exceptional accuracy. Around the same time, Vasili is asleep when a fellow soldier wakes him and reports a problem at a supply warehouse. Vasili is told to head out immediately and investigate with 2 other soldiers. Vasili spots what appears to be a man sleeping behind a window and immediately takes aim. He and one teammate move in to check, while the third stays outside. As they get closer, they realize the figure is not a person, but a dummy. It is a trap.
It's a trap.
I know.
At the same moment, the soldier waiting outside is shot and killed by a hidden German sniper. This marks the beginning of a deadly duel between two of the most dangerous snipers in the battle for Stalingrad. Soon after, German aircraft arrive and begin dropping bombs and missiles across the city. One of Vasili's companions panics and tries to flee, but the German sniper kills him with chilling precision.
Just stay where you are! Stay where you are! It's over there somewhere!
Fuck this, I'm going!
You Miller, no!
Vasili holds his position inside the building, even as Stalingrad is shaken by relentless air attacks. The scene then shifts again, showing Koenig calmly reading a newspaper while Sasha cleans his boots. Koenig hands the paper to Sasha and asks him to translate the Russian text into German. Sasha translates the article praising Vasili's skill and deadly accuracy as a sniper. He also mentions that he is a fan of Vasili, unaware that the man listening to him is the very sniper sent to hunt him down. Meanwhile, Vasili heads to the military headquarters where Danilov is stationed. There, he meets a soldier named Kulikov, a skilled sniper who once trained under Koenig at a German sniper school before the war. Vasili reports to Danilov that the two soldiers with him were killed. He also explains that the sniper he is facing constantly changes positions and never stays in one place, making him extremely difficult to track. Danilov reveals the truth. The sniper is Koenig, a legendary German marksman known as one of the most dangerous of the war. He also explains that Koenig has studied everything about Vasili and has come to Stalingrad specifically to kill him. Vasili is then dressed in uniform to attend a special event held in his honor. The gathering is organized as a propaganda effort to showcase his skill at hunting the enemy. Tanya visits Vasili and tells him she believes he can defeat the German sniper.
From what Konrad Danilov tells me, you're going to win.
Thank you. I'll need it.
At the event, photographers surround Vasili and the crowd offers constant support, turning him into a symbol of hope for the Red Army. Later that night, while Vasili is asleep, Kulikov suddenly wakes him, saying he has spotted a hidden sniper. They move out to check the situation, but when they reach the location, they realize it is a trap.
However, today what we're going to do.
They rush out of the building just as German troops open fire. Somehow they all survive. Vasili then cuts the communication lines to prevent the Germans from calling for reinforcements. The group keeps moving from one position to another until they spot a German soldier attempting to repair the damaged cable.
Hey, it's your repair guy.
I got him.
Not long after, a German soldier reports to Koenig that a Russian prisoner has been captured. Koenig interrogates the captive and demands to know Vasili's location. The prisoner refuses to cooperate and claims he does not know where Vasili is. Koenig takes advantage of this by giving the prisoner a German uniform and ordering him to repair the communication line. When the disguised Russian soldier comes into view of Vasili's team, Kulikov quickly shoots him, believing he is a German soldier. Vasili and Kulikov decide to relocate again, hoping to confirm that Koenig is no longer nearby. They set a trap by raising a helmet as bait, expecting Koenig to fire and reveal his position. When there is no reaction, they assume Koenig is gone. But as they move to another position, Koenig suddenly appears and shoots Kulikov dead. Vasili narrowly escapes and manages to cross over to safety. Shaken, Vasili returns to headquarters and tells Danilov that he cannot defeat Koenig, admitting that the German sniper is more skilled than he is. Danilov tries to encourage him and promises to gather every piece of information available on Koenig. Vasili eventually agrees to continue. Danilov then asks Vasili to speak to Tanya and pass along his feelings for her. Vasili meets Tanya, speaks of Danilov's bravery, and conveys the message. Instead of giving an answer about Danilov, Tanya opens up about her own past, revealing that her family was executed by German soldiers.
After 30 kilometers, the and forced everyone out. And then they fired a single shot at each pair. The bodies of the ones who died dragged the others under the water. My parents were amongst them.
On the other side, Koenig gives candy to Sasha and quietly draws information from him about Vasili's movements. Koenig then heads to an abandoned building, removes the dummy he previously used as bait, and takes up a new position to wait. Vasili realizes that Koenig is waiting for him in an iron corridor, so he changes his route and moves through the ventilation system instead. Koenig hears movement inside the pipes and waits near the vent opening. When the soldiers emerge, Koenig shoots one of them, while Vasili takes cover behind a large machine. In the chaos, Vasili drops his rifle and sends the wounded soldier back to headquarters. Vasili tries to retrieve his weapon by tying a knife to a piece of string and tossing it toward the rifle. He nearly pulls it back, but Koenig shoots the string, snapping it in midair. At the same time, German aircraft begin bombing the area again. Glass shatters throughout the building, and a reflection in a mirror reveals Vasili's position, allowing Koenig to spot him clearly and raising the tension even higher. Meanwhile, the wounded soldier manages to reach headquarters and report everything that happened. Tanya listens anxiously, repeatedly asking about Vasili's condition. Driven by worry, Tanya makes her way through the ventilation pipes to reach Vasili's hiding place. As she emerges, Vasili immediately signals her to be careful. He tells her where Koenig is positioned and asks her to use a mirror to reflect light toward the German sniper. Tanya follows his instructions exactly. The flash of reflected light exposes Koenig's location, giving Vasili the chance he needs. He retrieves his rifle and fires, striking Koenig's hand. For the first time, the legendary sniper is wounded. Sometime later, Vasili meets with Danilov and asks him to stop writing about him in the newspapers. Vasili wants to fight like any other soldier, not as a propaganda symbol. Danilov refuses, insisting that Vasili is no ordinary man. He is an exceptional sniper whose story inspires others to keep fighting. Danilov then brings Sasha to Vasili and explains that the boy is the one who cleans Koenig's boots. Sasha reveals that he noticed yellow soil on Koenig's boots, a type of soil found only near the chemical factory. He says he shared this information to help Vasili. Hearing this, Vasili becomes furious with Danilov for using and endangering a child, but Danilov shows little concern. Not long after, Sasha guides Vasili toward the chemical factory, where Koenig is believed to be hiding. Vasili conceals himself among piles of corpses and weights. Time drags on, and exhaustion eventually causes him to fall asleep. Unnoticed, Koenig moves directly in front of Vasili, well within firing range, while Vasili remains unconscious. At the same time, German forces launch another assault on the city. A German soldier is seen looting wallets from the dead. Koenig spots Vasili among the bodies and prepares to shoot, but the looting soldier steps directly in front of him, blocking his line of sight. Shortly afterward, a German commander summons Koenig and declares that his mission has failed. He explains that Vasili's wallet was found among a pile of bodies and that they now believe Vasili is dead. An aircraft is prepared to take Koenig back to Berlin. At the same time, Khrushchev is thrown into despair when he hears the news of Vasili's death. Danilov rushes in and insists that Vasili is actually still alive. However, Khrushchev fears that announcing the death of their hero would shatter troop morale. He orders Danilov to publish Vasili's final photograph and present him as fallen in the newspapers. Danilov then visits Tanya and tells her that Vasili will not be returning to headquarters. When she presses for an explanation, Danilov avoids answering and never reveals that Vasili's death has already been announced.
Vasili Zaitsev will never see his loved ones again.
They're saying Vasili is dead.
Meanwhile, Koenig meets with Sasha again and has him clean his boots. Sasha is clearly devastated after hearing the news of Vasili's death, but Koenig convinces him that Vasili is still alive. Koenig then reveals that he plans to wait for Vasili in front of the train station and orders Sasha to stay home and tell no one. Later that night, Vasili meets Danilov, who is sitting with Sasha. The boy tells Vasili that Koenig will be waiting for him at the train station before dawn. Vasili immediately heads there and finds Tanya already waiting.
Tanya.
Vasili wonders how Tanya knew he would come, and she explains that Sasha told her, and that she never stopped believing Vasili was alive. At the same time, Sasha secretly goes to the station to make sure Vasili is safe. But Koenig is already there. Koenig captures the boy and realizes that Sasha has been passing information to Vasili. From a distance, Tanya looks through binoculars and witnesses a horrifying sight. Sasha is seen hanging lifeless. It becomes clear that Koenig has killed him after discovering his role as an informant. Overcome with rage, Tanya tries to grab a sniper rifle to kill Koenig herself, but Vasili stops her and makes it clear that he will be the one to end Koenig's life. He then orders Tanya to leave the area. At the same time, German forces begin pushing into the city center. Tanya and Danilov go to Sasha's mother and urge her to board a boat to cross the river for her safety. She refuses, insisting she will not leave until Sasha returns. With no other choice, Danilov tells her that Sasha has betrayed them and joined the German army, choosing that lie instead of revealing that her son is already dead.
But maybe it's for the best.
Amid the chaos, a missile strikes the area where Tanya is located. She is critically wounded, and a doctor later declares her dead. Her body is placed onto a boat to be transported to medical facilities across the river. Meanwhile, Danilov goes to find Vasili, who is waiting for Koenig at the train station. Danilov informs Vasili that Tanya has been killed. Hearing this devastates Vasili, leaving him shaken and heartbroken. Yet he knows he must still carry out his mission to eliminate Koenig. In a shocking turn, Danilov helps Vasili locate Koenig by deliberately exposing himself as a target, allowing Vasili to line up the shot. Believing that Danilov is Vasili, Koenig fires a fatal shot and brings Danilov down.
Let me show you where the major is.
Don't do that!
Convinced he has finally killed his rival, Koenig moves in to confirm the kill. Instead, he finds Vasili alive, already aiming at him from another position. Realizing he has been outplayed, Koenig accepts his fate. He acknowledges Vasili's skill and courage before the end comes. Vasili then fires, killing Koenig and bringing the long and deadly duel between Stalingrad's two greatest snipers to an end. Afterward, Vasili takes Koenig's rifle and places it on Danilov's body as a tribute to his bravery and his role in inspiring the Soviet troops. Time passes, and 2 months later, the Red Army defeats the German forces and claims victory in the Battle of Stalingrad. In a final surprise, it is revealed that Tanya is actually still alive. The film closes with Vasili rushing to see her in the hospital, marking the end of their suffering and the losses they endured. So the moral of the story is that war creates heroes by first destroying the people they love, leaving victory soaked in loss, guilt, and broken hearts.